loves. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Yumiki Lynette, and you are tuning in to On a Mission. I'm so excited that you're here. On a Mission is where we live life whole, healthy, and purposeful. If this is your first time here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you get first dibs on all new content. Let's get started. Our first topic for this season, for this year, is going to be intentionality. I really feel called and I really feel that word so strongly in this season. And so I just want to really live life full of intention. And I hope that you're feeling that way too. Um, the past few years have been full of unknowns and uncertainty, just not knowing in regards to health and in regards to wellness and just regards to life, how you're going to make a living. Maybe you lost your job during COVID and you've had a hard time getting back on track, or maybe you've completely changed the trajectory of your life due to COVID. But we're coming out of the COVID season. And so one thing that was really, really heavy on me as I was planning for this year was intentionality. And so one of the things that I've been working on, and one of the things that I normally commit myself to and work on at the end of every year, is something called purpose planning. And I got this idea from Tiffany Montgomery, and I will attach the link. So if you are interested in purpose planning, that you can get to see how she does the purpose planning. But at the end of every year, you just basically take stock of the goals that you had for the year, and what you've accomplished and what you didn't, and things you can learn from all of that, all that you've accomplished and all the things that you didn't accomplish. And then you create new goals for the year, and you set intentions and you create words. And so this is something I've been doing for a few years now, creating a word, and really leaning on Holy Spirit to give me a word for the year that God really wants to reveal things to me through. And so it's so funny that my goals, as well as the words that I created for this year, really had the common thread of intentionality in it. And that word has just been pressing into me since the beginning of the year. So much to the point where I feel like God gave me this great idea because a lot of my goals were were based in intentionality. And so God gave me this idea that I was going to send notes to some of my friends and family about being intentional. And so one thing that I didn't know was that your iPhone has the notes, you have a collaborate button. And so you can create notes and you can share notes, but you can also collaborate with other iPhone users on your note. And so I thought this was a perfect way to really start the intentionality. And so that's really how it started. So I reached out to everyone and I explained that I wanted to be more intentional. And this is where this video starts. So first, before we really get into the nitty gritty of intentionality and the tips that I have for you in trying to be more intentional, I would like to give you the definition of being intentional. And that is going to be something that is done on purpose and something that is deliberate. So that's when you think of being intentional, you are being deliberate. You are doing something with a purpose and on purpose. And so that's exactly what I wanted to do when I created those goals. And when God gave me that idea to share and collaborate a note with a few family members and friends. And so my first tip bleeds into my first tip, which is write it out. So I use this note, and you are very different. Of course, people with Androids, I don't think they have this same specification on the Android form, but you can, I'm certain there's other things that you can do. You can write a letter, you can send a text, and really just state it out, write it out. Like, how do you want to be intentional? Set your goals of being intentional. What is important to you? And bring in your friends in and add your friends and your family in that. Like, I want to be more intentional with you. What are your thoughts about that? And really see where the conversation goes. I did this and I was very, very shocked and surprised that there were so many people that enjoyed the idea of being intentional about our new year. And so from there, tip two is have an intentional conversation. So from there, we went ahead and we set our intentions. I said, hey, let's put some ideas together, events, things, experiences that we want to do together. And let's start there. And then after, we did a few of those, created a few of those, and it was like, hey, let's get on the phone. And we talked about being intentional. And what that meant, is going to look different. How you do that is going to be different. It was important for me to have the conversation and say, hey, what does intentionality look like for you? Like, where are you being intentional this year? I can give you an example. If you want to do like a monthly get together with your friends, of course, first step is write it out. And then the second step, once you get everyone on board, the second step is going to be, hey, what are our intentions behind this? Everyone comes at things differently. Everyone has different love languages. Everyone has different sets of experiences. So, my reasoning for wanting to do a potluck with everybody could be because I just want to spend time with you. And I want to make sure that not too much time um, goes without us actually spending quality time. Yours could be like, hey, I want to use this as an opportunity to experience different uh cultures or different foods, and so that could be your intention. So you say, hey guys, I think this is a great idea. Can we add a little bit extra to this so that we're actually learning and engaging with each other, um but also spending that quality time. And so it's very important to go ahead and set those intentions up front, because one thing, and I know that you have probably seen this and heard this, you can have this great idea. You can have in your head, hey, this is going to be amazing. We're going to enjoy this. We're going to love this. And then you get in it, and everybody's ideas of what is supposed to happen is different. And then it creates turmoil, it creates confusion, it creates unrest, and you are stuck in a hard place. And now, if these things aren't talked about, these intentions aren't set, you start to have resentment towards the people that you're doing this thing with. That's supposed to be a good thing, but it turns out, oh no, you know, it's not turning out so good. And if these things aren't talked about, friendships can be lost. You can harbor resentments that would lead or bleed into other parts of your life. So it's really important to go ahead and share those intentions. And I know a lot of people are probably watching this and like, it doesn't take all that, but it really does. It really does. Being intentional is so key to building quality friendships, to building quality relationships with the people that you love. And if you've ever been in a situation where you've lost friends or you've had confusion towards, things that you thought would have been a good idea, you know that this is really important. And so you should really take this into consideration. I also want to share being intentional with yourself. Being intentional with yourself comes with a whole new set of responsibilities, holding yourself accountable, being deliberate with yourself. And that means if you say that you're going to do something, holding yourself accountable if no one else is going to hold you accountable. So is that putting more time on the calendar for you to plan certain things out? Is that you creating a to-do list at the end of every night? Is that checking off the things that you did for the day? It's going to look different for you, but being intentional is so key to just being consistent and being um, on purpose for what it is that you're trying to do for yourself, for your business, for your loved ones. So, step three, or tip three, is execute. Go ahead and take action. So now we have this example of we're doing a monthly potluck. Okay, so how do we execute this plan? What is this plan going to look like? We understand the intentions. Everyone has shared how they feel about it, what they want to get out of it. Okay, so now let's execute plan. What does a plan look like? Are we going to meet at one particular person's house every month? And this person is going to take care of the food and we're just going to cash app or whatever the case may be? Or are we going to share the responsibility and every month we trade off to another person's house, and then that person is responsible for the food? Or are we going to potluck it for real and everybody brings a dish or two and we just meet at different places? That is really, really key and really important, because just in case someone comes, you don't have that random person being like, oh, I didn't bring anything. And then someone else holding resentment because, they rushed home to create a meal for everyone to eat, and this person didn't even bother to even try to bring something from the grocery store. And that can really put a damper on something that you were utilizing to bring community, to bring collaboration and unity and love. That could really put a damper on your intention for this potluck. So make a plan, execute it, whatever that looks like for you. When it comes to being intentional for yourself, being taking action means being super, super organized. Sometimes I'll just speak for myself. Sometimes I need to be super, super organized so that I know exactly, and I need to write everything out. Like, what does that mean? Like, writing my plans out. Okay, like here, being intentional here, writing the script out, writing my intentions before I even press play on this video or press record on this video. I need to go ahead and have my intentions laid out. Why am I doing this? What do I want to press into the audience? What do I want to get across? And making sure that I'm sticking to that. Just to reiterate what we've gone through, the tips that I've shared. Number one, we want to write it out. Whatever that looks like for you, write it out, make it plain, make it visible, make it tangible. Number two, have the intentional conversation. I promise you, if you start having conversations about intentionality, you are going to feel so much peace and so much growth within your friendships that you're going to be like, why was I not doing this before? Number three, make the plan, write it out, take action. Execute. Do not just leave it up to chance. Do not just leave it up to, okay, we had the conversation about being intentional and now we're just going to wing it. Don't do that. Finish with executing the plan, making the plan work. And then sometimes the plan has to change. Sometimes, hey, a friend, I recently lost my job, so I'm not going to be able to assist with the potluck anymore. Okay, can we recalibrate our intentions? And having that conversation so that we are not losing the true intention of why we started the potluck in the first place. So that's going to be really, really key and really, really important. I hope you truly, truly enjoyed these tips. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And please, once again, subscribe, hit the subscribe button so that you can get first dibs on all of our new content. And I'm so grateful for you being here. Once again, you're tuning in to On a Mission.